I came to know that there are certain section of people who feel that Mayurbhanj should get divided. First is infrastructural development. Well, this section always feel that they are always deprived of infrastructural things. Second, administrative hubs. Certain section always complain about educational opportunities. Now the question arises, what is this educational opportunities? Well, let me state that certain section always complain about the scholarship thing. Well, I always say one thing, that if there is a yes to one thing, then there must be a no to that thing as well. Have you known, do you have any idea that Mayurbhanj wasn't actually the part of Odisha? Mayurbhanj is predominantly tribal state. Here, a lot of tribal people like Santhal, Moor tribe, every tribe live in a harmony. So they feel that by dividing Mayurbhanj, we are going to divide their harmony. Is it right? Before that, it was a princely state. Isn't it astonishing? Yes, it is. I have a question to ask. What about history? We all know that Mayurbhanj has its own history. Well, now the second question arises, what about mines? How we are going to segregate that? Hello friends, Namaskar, Johar, Jai Jagannath. Here I am, your friend and host, Chaman. Welcome you to this analysis section. Don't worry, I will say what are this analysis thing that we are going to discuss. But before that, let me say something important. First, please do like and subscribe this channel, because me and my team are working very hard to find something fascinating and interesting as well. Second, as I always say in my video, each video of mine will be the better version of the previous one. So please do like and subscribe. Well, now before going to discuss about today's analysis section, let me give you an highlight of it. Have you heard about the concept of Mayurbhanj being bifurcated into two districts? Isn't it strange, right? Don't worry, I will say you in a great detail. Have you heard that Mayurbhanj is being bifurcated into two districts? Strange, right? Don't worry, I am here to say you. Recently, government is planning to bifurcate Mayurbhanj into two districts. Well, the police station has already been bifurcated. Well, now the question arises, is it that legitimate? Well, there are a lot answers to it, but let me say you something. If there is a defining moment, then let's do it. But let's not forget the historical aspect as well. Mayurbhanj has its own history. Mayurbhanj has its own constitution. Mayurbhanj has its own enormous history. So let's not forget as well. In this analysis, I am going to say about its history, its consequences, what if we divide, what if we not. Well, let's go deep into this. Okay, I understand if it is a controversial thing, but don't worry, I will say in a great detail. First, there are certain sections who feel that Mayurbhanj should get divided. Now there are numerous reasons to it. Don't worry, I will explain in a detailed way. Well, recently I came to know that there are certain section of people who feel that Mayurbhanj should get divided. Now the question arises, what are the reasons? Well, there are certain reasons to it. First is infrastructural development. Well, this section always feel that they are always deprived of infrastructural things. So by this division, they can gain that infrastructural capabilities. Second, administrative hubs. Well, the question arises, what is this administrative hubs? Well, this section always feel that they'll always lack certain administrative things. Well, by this division, more people will come, the more voices will be heard, hence the administrative hubs will gonna increase. Third important thing, well, recently I came to something that certain section always complain about educational opportunities. Now the question arises, what is this educational opportunities? Well, let me state that certain section always complain about the scholarship thing. They always say that they were deprived of this scholarship. So by this division, they can able to gain that educational opportunities. So there are three important reasons. First is infrastructural capabilities. Second, administrative hubs. Third is educational opportunities. Well, I always say one thing, that if there is a yes to one thing, then there must be a no to that thing as well. By this analysis, certain section of people feel that Mayurbhanj shouldn't get divided. Well, they are right in their way. Allow me to know what are the right. First is Mayurbhanj has its own history. Have you known, do you have any idea that Mayurbhanj wasn't actually the part of Odisha? Strange, right? Don't worry, I will say this to you. This section always feel that Mayurbhanj has its own history, and by dividing, their history is gonna break, and they are not willing to accept that their history will be divided. Second thing, these sections complain that by dividing Mayurbhanj into two parts, people feel that infrastructural capabilities will rise, but wrong. They feel that certain money will get involved, corruption will get involved, certain kind of fake promises will be given. Hence, bureaucracy and administrative things are gonna make into worst. So this section always feel that Mayurbhanj shouldn't get divided. Well, now the question arises that is it right thing to divide? Well, what if not? Let me state that what if not? First, as I said in my previous video, historical significance. Mayurbhanj is predominantly tribal state. Here, a lot of tribal people like Santal, Mo tribe, every tribe live in a harmony. So they feel that by dividing Mayurbhanj, we are going to divide their harmony. Is it right? Well, I don't think so. First is because of historical significance. Second, lot of bureaucracy. Well, this section feel that if we invite more bureaucratic things, more corruptions will get involved, more fake promises will be given. So I feel, or they feel, that Mayurbhanj shouldn't get divided. Well, now another question arises that what if we divide? Well, there is an answer to this also. Well, assume that we are dividing Mayurbhanj. So if we divide, then there can be certain positive aspects. Now, what are the positive aspects? First is good governance. We all know that Mayurbhanj is a big district. So managing that district is a cumbersome procedure. So by dividing this Mayurbhanj, we can actually connect with the people, we can actually connect with the tribals. So there might be a chances of good governance. First. Second, infrastructural development. Yes, I do feel that by dividing Mayurbhanj into two parts, there will be certain infrastructural development. And what will this happen? Well, by this infrastructural development, we can help to uplift these people, we can help to uplift their economy, we can help to raise the problem. Third important thing is political connection. Well, this section feel that they are always deprived of chances. So by this division, these people can connect with their political person, these people can connect with the people, these people can raise their voices, by which we can able to raise their income, their economy, and their every single aspects. Well, please allow me to know the history also. I will not let you go without knowing the history of Mayurbhanj. Well, do you know Mayurbhanj has its own history? Mayurbhanj has its own constitution. Well, you will be strange that Mayurbhanj also wasn't the part of Odisha. Mayurbhanj was enacted in Odisha through a Mayurbhanj Agreement Act. Before that, it was a princely state. Isn't it astonishing? Yes, it is. Now, do you know how this name came, Mayurbhanj? Well, the Mayurbhanj came from the two dynasties, that is Mayur and Bhanjas. and they were in so close relationship with each other to respect their relationship, hence the name came Mayurbhanj. Well, I said you about Mayurbhanj, I said you about history even. Well, I said you what if we bifurcated, what if we not. I said you what are the positive consequences, what are the negative consequences as well. Well, now the question arises that what's next? Okay, let me give my perspective to it. Well, as I always say, and I will say it now, that if there is a defining moment, then let's divide. But I have a question to ask. What about history? We all know that Mayurbhanj has its own history. Well, now the second question arises, what about minds? How we are going to segregate that? Isn't it a controversial thing? Well, it is. Well, there are numerous questions to it, but I have a certain solution as well. Have you heard of that quote? परिवर्तन ही संसार का नियम है. Well, it says that change is the only constant. So I feel that if we are going to take a decision, then it should be on today's analysis. Now, if today's analysis said that Mayurbhanj should get divided, then let's do it. But let's not forget historical aspect as well. I really want you all to take part in this analysis section. Till then, bye-bye, and I promise that each video of mine will be the better version of the previous one. That's all from today's analysis. I will be back with another episode. Till then, take care.